Hey guys, how's it going? It's Ollie here from CryptoVest.com. Today is the 28th of September and we're going to be looking at EOS trading as Bitcoin over one-day candles. It's still consolidating pretty nicely actually over the one-day candle chart here. You can see that although we've came in from the top, which is usually a bearish continuation signal, EOS is actually starting to make a pretty decent climb now. It's lifting off this low support. It looks like it wants to test this downtrending resistance. Maybe today. I think we're only about 5% off hitting this sort of target here. So typically we'd expect these patterns to continue bearish, and they sort of follow this general trend where they consolidate inside the pattern between the support and resistance, and then as they reach this sort of pinch point here, let me just find out. As soon as they reach the point, they usually break through the support and they continue bearish, and from here it's likely that we'd either find the support that's 70,000 sats, or maybe even further down at this sort of 66,000 sats mark. Alternatively, you can see them sometimes break bearish, and we saw this with Bitcoin fairly recently, where the actual target broke through. Ooh. Where they actually break through the top resistance, continue all the way up until they hit their sort of next major resistance, which I guess around here would be the 99,000 sats mark, and then from there it would maybe correct back down. It finds support along this, or it finds sort of throwbacks to the resistance here, and then it would probably continue on, and we'd expect sort of a continuation upwards from here, so something like this, and that's kind of what we're looking at right now. If you look at the short-term momentum indicators, there's some sort of promising signals actually. If you look at the RSI, you can see that since middle of August we've actually climbed all the way out of the oversold region, have been uptrending pretty nicely. Some highs and lows, we've been experiencing some pretty strong selling pressure throughout the start of September, but for the most part, EOS has actually been climbing pretty strongly, and it's and it's almost, if we follow this line, we should expect it to continue. Let's sort of project. Can almost expect it to hit sometime around sort of the 24th of October, if we're following this line of when it would sort of reach this overbought region. But if we look at the MACD indicator as well, some actually really promising signals, especially over one-day indicators. You can see that for the first time since way back in March, the start of this year, the 12 MA and the 26 MA have both passed through the signal line. So this is actually quite bullish. Looking at the histogram, you can see that sort of trading volume has started to decrease a little bit, but the blue line, so this 12 MA, is actually still high above the 26 MA. And yeah, this is actually quite a good sign long term. It looks like momentum is finally picking up gradually. It's taken almost 3-4 months since June, since we fell through, to pick back up again. There was a sort of moment of uncertainty throughout sort of June, July and mid-August, but very recently we started to climb, and we're now back over here. So it'd be interesting to see if this can actually hold above this line and maybe continue to climb, and this could be a good signal. We looked at Bitcoin a few days ago, and we saw a very similar thing. We saw the MACD indicator for the first time since 2016 for Bitcoin climb through the signal line. So some promising signs that maybe strong bullish momentum is coming long term. It might not be a good indicator that short term momentum is picking up, but I think long term we should expect something quite good. And definitely as we're reaching Q4, there's that sort of November, December time where last year obviously we had a very strong pump, and then January it just continued from there. So maybe this is a precursor to that, who knows. Let's take a look at closer candle range. We'll get rid of this yellow line. So yeah, as you can see, overall the trend has been looking pretty good. We've had some wicks beneath as bulls have been really pushing up. It's a bit of a strong selling pressure at the moment, this particular candle, but again you see you've got a wick underneath now as bulls are starting to push that up. So it's generally a good sign of sentiment when you see candle wicks, long candle wicks below. You've got a few on top, but ultimately it looks like bulls are really winning this in the short term. Again on the RSI, still uptrending. We've had a bit of a dip, and honestly that's just logging that recent selling pressure here. But overall on the MACD indicator, you can see the 12 MA is still high above the 26 MA. So we're looking pretty good in terms of general momentum. If we have a look at the Ishimoku indicator, we'll see how we're looking in terms of reversal. And yeah, so this is a really good sign. So we've got a huge TK crossing here, which is a very bullish signal. We've actually already passed through the resisting Kumo, and we've got a very nice supporting Kumo now stretching out in front of the candle action here. So what we want to see is we want to see candles starting to continue to close above this cloud here, and we really want to be looking now for candles to continue upwards and start to test this downtrending resistance of the main pattern. And this will be a huge hugely important area for EOS going forwards, and if we can break through this line and candles can start to close above here, then that'll be a very good sign that potentially we may start to enter into a new bullish phase for EOS. So yeah, an interesting time for EOS and the rest of the market. I mean, Litecoin and Cardano are also doing quite well at the moment, which is great to see. And yeah, so some interesting things going forward right now. So for the full TA, guys, you want to head over to cryptovest.com. The link will be in the description. And yeah, drop us a link. Let us know what you think in the comment section below. And yeah, please like and subscribe. Cheers.